happy Monday to everybody and welcome to Local Connect. I've got Sumit here from GurTaj Indian in Colorado. So lovely to have you on, and why don't you start with telling us a little bit about your business and how it started?
Oh, absolutely. So, Tammy, we here at GurTaj Indian Colorado, we started some 25 years ago. Our father started the business. We used to be down the road next to the cinemas, so we were there for about 19. We've been at the current shop for about 6 years now. So, yeah, come a long way, but we're still producing exactly what we did 25 years ago, consistently. So I guess our cuisine is mainly North Indian. So very much, look, we're seeing all sorts of technical changes and I guess consumer behaviour over the years, but yeah, so look, sticking to your core product has been our aim the whole time.
Yeah, I've got to say that your prawn curry, I think it's like the Goan prawn curry. It's like the yellow one with prawn. It is like the best that I've ever tasted in my life. So, yeah, I love that.
And it's kind of funny. Funny you mentioned that. We still sort of use that sauce we use in the butter chicken in the Goan prawn sauce, but. It's funny, this is where being a small business owner, you can make the greatest sauce in the world, but if you don't get the great supply from your supplier, which is our prawns, for example, you can't go too far. So, look, I think one of the things we stuck to over the year is sticking to quality suppliers. Just sourcing the very best, and look, most of our supply, particularly our seafood people, they've been very honest, and they, time to time they might have shipment which wasn't up to that standard, and we would normally sort of abandon certain dishes for a certain time, or just say we haven't got it, kind of thing. So you've got to be very honest with your customers by, just because in the menu you don't have to serve it, you can always say no.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And you do have to listen to what the feedback that you get from your customers, don't you? Whether they like it or whether they don't, or even people are ordering it, hey?
Oh, look, absolutely. Look, I think in our industry, you are good as your last meal. It doesn't matter. You've been here for 25 years. You just don't assume that you're just going to keep trading. That's not how it works. You are good as your last meal. And like you say, yeah, that's right. You do need to, engage, and this is one of the reasons I loved our dining in component, where I can actually go off to the table, a few minutes later, and I just check, and guys, is it mild enough, spicy enough? And look, I normally just, sometimes I can see they go, and I'll go, you know what, I'm going to grab this dish, I'm taking it to the kitchen, and I'm going to bring it back the way you like it, and that works brilliantly for us.
Yeah, it's that customer service is the little trick to it, is the add-on I think people like, especially in the local communities. I don't personally know any other restaurant like Indian restaurant that do that, because sometimes, like I'm from Durban, South Africa, and I always ask for it really spicy, but I know here in Australia sometimes they don't make it as spicy as probably I'm used to, but I think it's about telling the restaurant as well, okay, well, can you make it like out of 10, like the 9 for me?
Yeah. And look, funny you mentioned it, using that example for a small businesses. I mean, the whole spice example, look, it means different to different people, and this is where I think what differentiate us from a medium or large business is the whole custom part of it. It surprised me how with a lot of small businesses, retailers or such, there is no effort to try to understand your customers. I mean, there's certain businesses where they're full on effort and they're still in existence after all these years. So look, just the whole customer approach is quite important. I mean, ordinarily day-to-day thing will go smooth, but as soon as where you see that opportunity to get to know your customer better, or you find an opportunity to something to improve, definitely. I mean, I'll just probably share a quick story. This would have been about 23 years ago, and I still remember the guy named Joe. He walked into our old shop, and this he's kind of happy, charming kind of guy, and I could see the look on his face wasn't happy, and he did sort of express his frustration as much as we were trying to hold it, and he goes, I got the butter chicken. You know what? It's not thick enough. And I didn't want to question anything. I go, Joe, I apologise. Could you just give me 5 minutes? I took the butter chicken back to the chef, having it with my dad, explained to him exactly what he was after. Got in the curry, might have thrown in a few couple of other things. And that was 23 years ago. And now he got kids who are, at university, and they're still coming to us. So look, I just think, yeah. So again, look, I think as a small businesses, I think you need to make the effort. Just don't act like a corporate, because if you do, I don't think you're going to be around for too long.
Yeah, no, I agree, definitely, and I do the same thing for mine. It's really important. I'm always like, negative feedback is actually good feedback, because that's how you help and grow and improve and pivot and stop certain products and branch out to others, and that's exactly what I've been doing as well. So, no, that's fantastic. And so your dad's the chef?
Yeah, he's a chef. He's the one who he was a soldier in the Indian Army. The whole discipline mentality, that's where he came from. Wow. And he migrated to Australia in 91, and he worked at all these places for about 5 years. And he one thing I liked about him, he picked all the best things out of each of the restaurant and he put it together, and he taught all of the kids. So at any given time, all of us can cook exactly the way he likes it. So I think that's also probably the reason we lasted so long. And that's very much, I wouldn't say challenge, and that's probably the approach we want to have it down the track. So I guess consistency is a key. I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to go to a restaurant where the meal I had 2 months ago was different to what I have now. I mean, you can have a bit of variance, but I guess consistency is quite important.
Yeah, and I suppose with Indian food, like for example, lamb madras is my favorite, and I will go to the same place, and order the same thing every single time, because if I know it's good, but if they make it bad one time, I'm like, oh, I hope this isn't a bad, and maybe you might go back a second time or a third time, but if it's bad the next 3 times, then you probably will be like, no, okay, I'm going to try somewhere different. But it's good to get a good following and those very loyal customers, I suppose, in the local community.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I think that's where you just got to have, I think, the whole approachable, business, where the customer can feel that, they can actually come in and, give the honest feedback. And that's quite important as well. So, I mean, got that face-to-face interaction, that helps us big time.
Yeah, no, that's important. Okay, so and what have you been doing differently from like the COVID and lockdown? Do you want to maybe talk about some of your products and services?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Look, being a restaurant takeaway, so we're obviously not doing the dining in component, so that's. Yep. So we are fortunate compared to, I guess, most of the industry aren't there now. We can trade and still do takeaway and delivery. So I guess it does add that challenge to where the dining in component used to be, I'd probably say it was about 65% of our revenue in the older day. It's kind of replaced by pick up and delivery, but the reality, you have to turn around those dishes quite quickly. So I guess we can't do advertising. I think we'll still these traditional approach where we'll go do letterbox drops or things like that. We can't do that anymore, and a few of the other restrictions. So look, you certainly have to adopt. And I think with COVID, I think as all of the businesses do, personally, I think it was quite important that all of us need to act above and beyond just around the COVID safety, not just trying to please our services and ticking all the boxes. So it's quite important just to I guess for the well-being of the wider community. Just going those extra miles, because at the end of the day, I think the health department can only issue us guidelines, but your business better. Where those potential spots are. So I guess very much just getting our head around it. So I think it served us well, especially when the COVID started last year, to just sort of start thinking about those things. And I remember hiring more manpower, just the fact that we could really do the right thing, keep the place clean and tidy, and I guess all those prevention measures. So we are in a different world, but we are fortunate at the same time, like I say, being able to trade to still do takeaway and deliveries, but on the same time, we have responsibility towards our customers and supporters.
Yeah, it's so important letting them feel safe as well, that your environment and the food's safe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so how will they order with you?
Yeah, look, I guess what we sort of done a little bit different a few years back is we actually introduced text ordering. So that was a bit of, I guess, it was funny, and you know what? It works really, really well. So this is about 6 years ago. This while Uber and some of those third partner was coming along, and it's understandable people want the ease, and we still couldn't find a partner that actually could enable us to accept online orders. So that text ordering done really well. Currently, we're really proud of the fact that we signed up with this organisation who tied over the Australian Food Guide for very low fee. We can actually just probably accept orders online, accept a reservation, and even organise deliveries through cab charge. If any small business out there, I'd be more than happy to sort of share some of those insight. And I've already reached out to some of our local business associates. So we're trying to tend to support each other locally, just finding how to bring some of those costs down. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so I must look into that cab charge deliveries, because I think some of the feedback from restaurants before the local small businesses is that they get the fee from Uber and obviously the Uber Eats and stuff like that, and then the Uber Eat driver actually themselves doesn't make a lot of money, so it's kind of a lose-lose. So it kind of takes away from the old school little scooters just dropping off the meals kind of thing, eh?
Yeah, look, it is a quite important topic to talk about. It. Look, as much as you respect the existence of other organisations out there, but look, what you have to keep in mind is small business are a big part of the economy, and I think with the third-party providers, it's just uncompetitive. You have no other choice. You almost sort of force into it. Look, just to put things simply for most people, for every $100 order that you place, $35 goes to these delivery providers, and on top of that, the customers obviously pay more for delivery fee. Look, I guess at the same token, I just think more and more small businesses like ourselves are providing those functionality now. Like, for example, ourselves, so we're enabling online ordering straight off Google. So it's actually, even rather than having to jump into Uber or many likes, you can order straight. So I think small businesses need to educate their customers. And most of the customers I've spoken to, and as soon as they realise the 35% mark, people go, you know what, sorry, mate, next time I'm going to order directly. So, look, I think small businesses, it has been challenging. I think in the whole 25 years I've been in business, look, everything from insurance to rent and everything have gone up, and including, our industry being meat prices, being a country that produces so much, I guess, the food side of things, still things have only gone up. So I can't remember last time, I think might have gone down $1. It'd be really fantastic if the community is informed the amount of fee these two parties provide. We'd rather probably run that. We still want the middle people, the delivery people, to make money out of it. But I think much larger share of the fee that get paid by the business and the customer actually goes offshore rather than to the local economy.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's also really important that consumers also have that choice as well. If they know that where that money is kind of going to, then they'd probably much rather support their local business and order direct. I personally love the text. I'm just like, it's so easy, especially if you know what you want. One lamb address, one this, one that, and then you're like, it's done, right? And then you don't have to worry about.
That's my order from last time. Added 2 changes, and it's good to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, even better. Just order me again. No, that's fantastic. And Okay, so if people want, so what is your hours and your delivery, that kind of thing? So what if people want to start ordering now? What times do you do that kind of thing?
Yeah, so look, for the last 6 years, we've been closing on Monday, so we still trade 12 to 9:30. So yeah, people can order delivery and pick up throughout the day. I guess just a side note on that is in our particular business with GurTaj, we tend to make everything from scratch. We're in the kitchen at 11. And preparing throughout the day. So if anyone feel like carrying in lunch hours, freshly made and be delivered to your door.
Ooh, even better. I love a lunchtime curry. Which is your most popular days? When do people tend to order the most?
Oh, look, it's still the traditional Friday to Saturday. But what we did found, I guess, post when the lockdown opened last year, so it was just quite funny. We were busy too random day during the weekdays, but I'd probably say weekend is still probably the busiest.
Yeah, no, Friday night is always the best thing. You don't feel like cooking and all that kind of thing. And what's your star dishes?
Look, all the butter chicken.
The prawn one. I highly recommend anyone to try because it is delicious.
Thank you. So look, ordinarily, as everyone, a bit like butter chicken being probably the most famous dish anyway. But like I said earlier, we tend to spend the hours. We won best butter chicken a few years back when Manly Daily used to be around and they'd done a poll on us. We still tend to do a really good butter chicken. So that's being obviously anyone like a bit of creamy and sort of chicken curry. And I'll probably say the vegetarian version of the butter chicken being malai kofta. You should try that. I'll probably say the potato and eggplant on the vegetarian section is vegan at the same time, but believe me, as much as you like your meat, you'll like our eggplant.
Yeah, the vegetarian ones, surprisingly, I know people always seem to go with the meat, but the vegetarian ones, I think, are just as good. And they don't make you obviously feel as heavy afterwards. So I love it. All right. So, is there anything you want to kind of tell the audience or tell anyone that you wanted people to know about you and your business?
Oh, of course. Look. I think rather than tell, I just want to thank people. I just think, I can't speak for other part of Sydney or New South Wales, Australia, but I must say, I think here on the beaches, I guess you just, do the right thing on your side, and it's amazing how the community will support you. Look. They've been so many times, and I still remember a few years back with the state government were trying to make the Pittwater Rule 24 hours clearway. If it wasn't for the community, we would have a road start here. And even now during COVID, I know that a lot of our customers, they aren't ordering curry because they feel like curry. They're ordering because they want to support us. Yeah. And I just think that's just an absolutely beautiful thing we have here on the beaches. And look, I try to do my part. I'll go down to all our local business associates almost every night I can. But look, that counts, and that's what we've been getting from our customers. And we're still afloat, and we're still able to retain the manpower. I just want to thank everyone for all the support. And on the same token, as I said on our Facebook page for a few days, we want to keep supporting a lot of the local clubs, and it's quite important, especially the surf clubs and the rugby and so on, because a lot of the young people play, so if you don't have enough other finances, so it's really the community that actually run those clubs, so those clubs actually need our funding. So I think on the business's end, small business, let's all just chip in and support the local initiative. So so whatever your capacity is, that will mean a lot to them. And from GurTaj part, look, even if revenue was down, we were still committed to supporting those clubs.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, wonderful, Sumit. So you can go and find GurTaj on Instagram, and their text number is actually on there if you want to order. And I'll find them on Google as well, onto their website.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It's been lovely speaking to you. And keep cooking those amazing foods.
Thanks, man. Yes. Have a good day. Bye.